Hey, what's up guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Gonna be going over the watch list for the week of March 14, 2016. Had a pretty good week in the market last week, and we will talk about the S&P 500 as well as a couple of other stocks that look to be set up to possibly make some moves higher. So sit tight, we'll be back in just a second. We'll get into this. Alright guys, welcome back. First off, let's go ahead and talk about the SPY, the S&P 500 on the SPX, and talk about a couple of current levels that we're at. So first, last week, we were looking for that move up to 2000, and we got that move. And I mentioned that we might need a little bit of a pullback or consolidation underneath that 2000 area, which would be ideal. And then we see the large breakout over 2000 that we got on Friday. So that ended up being a really nice end to the week. But I will say it doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the clear and we're going to be continuing higher, which our next area we want to see a test of is up here at 2075. So you guys can see we're testing this downtrend line and actually getting just slightly above it there. And this downtrend line is created from these lower highs prior to the big sell-off at the new year. So we've made it through 1950. We've got our test to 2000. We pull back, consolidated, broke above 2000, and now we're looking for a move up towards this 2075 area by the end of next week. And if we get that, that'll put us really good. You could see our 20-day moving average is now crossed back up above our our 50-day moving average, and our 20-day is now trending in upward direction. RSI, we're not overbought yet, but as I was mentioning, you need to keep in mind that we are at and testing, rejection levels up here, and if this turns out to be a bear market rally, then you could expect a pretty big sell-off to occur, and it could happen really fast. So we're not in the clear yet. The bulls are currently in control, but of course that could change at any moment, and those are a couple levels that we'll be watching into next week. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at AGEN. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, then here on the 7th I mentioned, agent up at these levels looks more of a better short opportunity than a long opportunity, and even though it was correct, it wasn't a whole lot of range there. So it's actually a pretty nice pullback that we got, and I still like the strength here, finding support here around 360, and a nice strong candle, huge relative volume on Friday, and I think we see a nice push up towards this 470, 480 area that we were looking for last week. You could see the downtrend. We're now above that downtrend line. We've established resistance. We're putting in that higher low, and I want to see us break above that resistance and head up towards this 480 area. Our 20-day moving average is getting pretty close to crossing back above our 50-day moving average. Next, let's take a look at ADXS. We traded this one a long time ago, probably about a year ago. Back here, actually, last year in January, and it just continued higher, even for the next 5 or 6 months after that. Finally peaked out its top almost all the way up at 30, and has been trending down since then. But currently, it is not only now testing this downtrend line, but it's putting in a nice base down here, right around 520s. So this one has a lot of room that it can move. Trades really good range, so multiple dollar ranges. You're talking about here a low from 550 up to a high of almost 950. So that's $4 almost worth of range. So big range stock, and now we've tested this downtrend line. We're pulling back, and we're going to find some support here off the 50 and 20-day moving average. We've put a nice hammer candle in, and this one looks like it's good to continue higher and maybe start breaking out of that downtrend and maybe put a new uptrend and see a longer term type move to the top side For now, we're going to be working or focusing on this 950 area. That's the next mark we got to get back up to and above. And after that, we'll be looking up here around 1150s to see if we can see a test back up in that area. Next up on the list, let's look at AEL. So AEL has been just destroyed basically since the beginning of December of last year, and has just gone straight down from 27 to 13, and has actually started to put a nice base down here on the bottom and starting to put some higher lows in. So we had big relative volume on Friday. That's what brought this one up on the scanner. I think it's worth to watch as we're above our 20-day simple moving average, and we could possibly see a move up to the 1650, 1660 area, which is right in conjunction with our 50-day moving average. Maybe only take a day trade or something like that. But it's got a good range. It can move $1 or $2 in a single day. Really good range. We're above our 20-day, and I think we could see a test up to this 1650, 1660 area. Next, let's take a look at NPTN. So we've actually been watching NPTN for quite some time now. Actually all the way back at this initial 1130 area where we wanted to see a breakout, ended up getting rejected, followed by a huge sell-off, based out, finally came back up, and ended up running up to new 52-week highs and testing all the way up to 1325. So pretty good move, and then sold off pretty hard again. So this one's pretty volatile, has a lot of range, but currently he's coming off a 3-day ramp, and that looks pretty positive. We're above both our 20 and 50-day moving averages, and we're above this 1130 resistance area, so that's pretty important. I don't know that I would necessarily buy into these upper levels here. I probably would like to see a pullback or consolidation to offer that better risk reward ratio. But we would definitely, if we do pull back, we want to see this 1130 area hold as support and stay above that area, and then a move back towards 13. Next, let's take a look at NTCT. So another one that's been selling off for quite a while, all the way up from the 44, 42, and now down under 20. But it did find a base down here around 1850 and has held that for now, and we're actually attempting to get back above our 20-day moving average. We've got some pretty decent volume coming in on Friday, and after this big huge sell here, there's a lot of potential room to the top side if we continue to see more volume and buyers stepping in. Maybe even just a test to this 50-day moving average around 23 would be ideal. So still, about $2 worth of range if we can get some type of entry on that. Next, let's take a look at AMD. We attempted to trade this on a couple bottom bounces a while back when the market was getting really volatile. None of them ended up working out, and ended up just taking small losses on each one. And now we've actually come off the bottom, had a big ramp up to this 250 area, pulled back, found support on the 50-day, and testing that 250 area again with huge relative volume. Okay, so that's what kind of got me interested here, is the amount of volume that we've been trading. Next week, I think we see a possible breakthrough this 250 area, and without a doubt that could lead us to a test back up to this $3 area and the prior highs that we put in back at the beginning of January, end of December. So keep this one on watch. Volume continues in. I see a move back over these highs and then a test back up maybe to this $3 area. Let's take a look at GSAT. Another one that I like here, mostly based off the amount of volume that it traded on Friday, 10 million shares, which is more than it's traded in quite some time, pretty close to this day here, about 11 million. And you could see right after it traded that 11 million, a few days later, boom, there's the huge pop. So now we've consolidated, pulled back after this 160 test, putting in a nice hammer candle or dragonfly doji, I guess you could say. Support from both our 20 and 50-day moving averages right here. So you're set up with a minimum risk reward ratio. If you're breaking below your moving averages, then you know that your idea is incorrect and you could stop out on the trade. And you have room up to 160, which would be your first target area where you could take half off. And then if you get the break through 160 and it looks strong, you possibly get a move back up to the 180 area. So this is set up with a great risk reward ratio, especially a stock that's trading under $1.50. Can be really a good opportunity for people that have smaller accounts, and these type of opportunities don't always arise. So I really like the volume that this thing traded, and I'm going to be looking for a continuation move next week back up towards this 160 area. Again, right now as we sit, a risk would be, if we start breaking below our 20 or 50-day moving averages. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the watch list video this week. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Also, check out our website, eatsleeptrade.net. We got a lot of new stuff going on there and a lot of new content development going on. So please don't forget to check it out. Leave a comment, share it with your friends. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.